Well, there we go. I just want to say, Travis, I thought the 6 to 9 was really funny because my alarm today was "If Six Was Nine" by Jimi Hendrix. What a funny connection. But I would like to thank all of you for the time. Masculine vulnerability has been an important subject that I have understood more deeply over the years. It is a subject that is not common to talk about, and it affects by society and cultural norms over a long time span. I wanted to start talking about my experience that has brought me into this personal journey to dive deeper into my masculine vulnerability. It all starts with a so common cycle. My dad, he was like many people have been brought into, circumstances, and his dad and mom, they brought him to Detroit, and his brother stole a car when he was like 13 years old. So they moved out to the country, and from what I know, my dad's childhood was very isolating at times and wasn't very rewarding. I know that he was basically beat all the time if he just did something wrong. And I know that's not uncommon for those times. Um, but as a result, I've grown up with a father that hasn't been able to communicate very well. He doesn't really express his emotions, never seen him cry. Circumstances like that have resulted into me having to look for a father figure in my life, looking up to people that I can find leadership in, and see as a sort of replacement father figure. And that's not to condemn my dad and his own circumstances, but when I talk about a cycle, we're also talking about generational trauma. We're talking about how being raised a certain way over the generations and through society, it changes who we become and how we choose to see our life. So the effects of being different, because I was raised, in a such way that, I didn't have a dominant male figure in my life. So it resulted in me just being, I'd say, different in a lot of ways. My interest to what I did in school and the people I hanged out with, it all affected my relationship as who was my role model and what I looked up to. I've also never seen my dad cry in my entire life. I'm sure a lot of people, again, can relate to that, but some can't because, it's it's an emotion. It's how we show that we're not okay, how we express that everything isn't alright. And again, it's perfectly fine, but circumstances happen. Um, so with being different, it came, the mistreatment that I got from others, being called gay and dumb all the time, being put down just because I looked different to other people. And this had nothing to do with the fact that, I looked weaker. I was very athletic. I was I was individualistic. I had my own thoughts and intellectuals on who I was, and I was happy to represent that. But to other people, I was a target. And some of that can stem probably from my father figure not being a complete idol for me or someone that I could look up to all the time. And so from that, I I became into a point of my earlier life through isolation and reflection. And what that taught me was basically just understanding philosophy from from self-reflection alone, being able to take the thoughts that transit through the mind and being able to look at it and question it and reason with it, and how that developed who I was today. At some point in 2020, I got a psychiatric evaluation, and one of the most important details of that was they told me my masculine and feminine balance are like 50-50. And that really made me consider, you know, maybe it's not just that I'm not masculine enough or that I don't stick out in a manly way. It's just that I understand the balance of it's okay to be feminine in areas of your life. It's okay to have reasoning to not do everything what we've been known to do. I want to tie this into depression and numbing and some of the darker aspects that come with not being able to express yourself, not being able to open up. In 2019, this is on the Suicide Awareness website. They haven't updated it past 2019. I don't know why. The men's suicide rate was 3.63 times as much more than women. And the highest was middle-aged men in 2019. And that really made me think about why. Why would it be 3.63 times as much more? And it makes a lot of sense. It's because of how our society and how these norms over time has molded men to feel like they can't get help, can't get support, can't reach out to other men and women and just talk. Because as a if you were a member of the opposite sex, as being a woman, it might be a little easier for you. And I say that judgment free, of course, but it's also more accustomed in the societal norms to be able to just reach out to your girlfriends and have meetings and go out all the time. But for men, it seems like there is a block still. It seems like, going out with the boys is even different from just going out with girlfriends, and I think it's important that we start to look at and question why these statistics from 2019 are probably still going up, and to look and evaluate them. Many of the issues we face are societally based. Many feel unaccepted, unappreciated, and not included. So please welcome our brothers. All powerful beings, and I believe, within reasons, male and female balance are important. Please allow men to share their divine masculine, to feel accepted for doing many actions just as a man. We should encourage women to be more feminine, and the same should go towards us. Going into that, it's a two-way street. It's not just about telling a man to go do manly things. I feel that in all men and women, there is a balance between the two. But we've been socially programmed over the years that if we're too manly, that we're seen as scary, we're seen as disruptive and violent, and it's messed with men societally. How can we change the future of how this affects everyone? So that's what I have. for you guys today, and thank you very much.